My dear children, from my second video, I am going to explain the formation of positive and negative ions and the ionic compounds. So, it is better to go through the periodic table, the periods of the periodic table, right? Hydrogen, 1s1 configuration. Helium, 1s2. So helium has filled the first energy level. So it is a stable element. Then lithium. Now all the atoms in this period 1s2 has filled. Then not need to write the 1s2. Then I write only the filling orbital, second orbital only, right? Then 1s2, 2s1, 2s1. Start to fill the 2s orbital. Lithium, beryllium, 2s2. It fills the 2s2. Boron, 2s2, 2p1. Carbon, 2s2, 2p2. Nitrogen, 2s2, 2p3. Nitrogen, 2s2, 2p3. Oxygen, 2s2, 2p4. Fluorine, 2s2, 2p5. Neon, 2s2, 2p6. So it has filled 2s2, 2p6 is the octet configuration, stable configuration. So helium stable, neon also stable. Then all the other elements are not stable, from lithium to fluorine, because they are not having the helium configuration or neon configuration. Then they try to obtain the nearest stable gas configuration, right? The nearest stable gas configuration to be stable. Then see here lithium, 1s1. So what is the nearest stable gas configuration? Lithium nearest one is helium, not the neon. Then lithium removes that electron, keeping the 1s2 as the outermost orbital. Then Li removes this electron, it forms positive ion plus E. This is the removal electron. I'll explain you how the positive ion is formed. The atom of lithium has 3 protons, 3 electrons. Because you know that all the elements are neutral, because all the elements are having equal number of protons, positive charges, and equal number of electrons, negative charges. So they are neutral. Then lithium has 3 protons in the nucleus, 3 electrons at the outermost, at the orbitals around the nucleus. Then you must know that protons are unable to remove or gained because they are in the nucleus. already the removing or gaining abilities are shown by electrons only. So, therefore, that 2s one electron has removed, after that it has only 2 electrons, 2 negative charges. But it has 3 positive charges by the 3 protons. So it has plus 1 excess, proton, 1 proton excess. So it has a positive charge. Right? The method of formation of Li plus from Li atom. This is neutral, but the atom has positive charges. Then you must know that all the positive ions are formed due to the removal of some number of electrons. Then the atom has the same number of protons equal to the removal number of electrons. Therefore, after the removal of electrons, they become to positive ions. Then we will go through beryllium. It removes 2s 2 electron, then Be plus 2v, so it becomes plus 2 plus 2. It has 2 protons excess. Similarly, boron, it removes 3 electrons, 2, 1, 3 electrons to keep the first energy level as the outermost orbital. If they remove 3 electrons, it has 3 protons excess. So boron becomes plus 3 positive ion due to the removal of 3 electrons. So it is clear that I think how the beryllium, boron and lithium, beryllium and boron forms Li plus, Be2 plus, boron 3 plus ions due to the removal of electrons. Right? Then see here. Then carbon. Carbon should be removed how many electrons? 2s2, 2p4. It should be removed 4 electrons. If it becomes to the helium configuration, then if we want to take the neon configuration, it should be taken 2s2, 2p6, 2s2, 2p2. It should be taken 4 electrons to gain the neon configuration. It has the same distance to neon and helium. So it is a different element. He does not remove electrons. So carbon generally does not form positive ions. You must know that it does not remove 4 electrons. Right? Then consider the nitrogen. So it should be removed 5 electrons. But here it closest to the neon, so it tries to gain the neon configuration. So it gains 3 electrons, becoming 2s2, 2p6. Then nitrogen plus 3 electrons, it gains N3 minus. Similarly, oxygen gains 2 electrons. O plus 2 electrons gains O2 minus. Fluorine has 2s2 it needs one electron to be gain the neon configuration. So it gains one electron to form F minus. They become to the configuration of neon. Now they are stable. So it is clear that Li plus is formed. This should be written as 2 plus, 3 plus. Then now you are clear that I think the formation of these positive ions and formation of these negative ions, they are formed due to the removal of electrons. They are formed due to the gaining of electrons. Now this is the method of formation of positive ions and negative ions. So it is clear that, so if we consider the periodic table, except carbon, the elements left side, there are three elements, they form positive ions with the giving out of electrons. The three elements right side of the period, they gain electrons to form negative ions. How much gains? To be completed the configuration of neon. Right? This is the method of formation of positive and negative ions. I think it is clear for you. Then, now I explain how they combine to give ionic compounds. Positive ions, negative ions attract each other, forming ionic bonds to form ionic bonds, ionic compounds. As an example, if lithium Li, it removes one electron, no? So it becomes Li plus. Then you must know that electrons remove means some element should be taken. Right? If element needs to gain element, it should be taken from an element. Okay. Then electrons are present only in elements. Then when the lithium gets removed one electron, it becomes positive ion. Fluorine needs one electron. If fluorine gains that electron, so it is easy, then it becomes F minus. Due to the exchange of one electron, Li removes, fluorine has taken it, so Li becomes plus ion, positive ion, fluorine becomes negative ion. After the formation of positive and negative ions, they get attracted to each other to give the Li, F. This is the compound lithium fluoride. Plus charge gets neutralized by negative charge. To be neutralized, the charges should be same. Then lithium also, these charges are present really, plus and minus. These attractions are explained as electrostatic attractions. I think do you remember that? Static electricity. The electricity doesn't flow, it remains static. So it also same, this one also same. Therefore, this attraction is raised between the static electricity. So the plus charge and minus charge. It is named as the electrostatic attraction, right? Then this is the method of formation of lithium fluoride. If we consider the formation of lithium oxide, see here, Li plus, it is given out one electron. Oxygen comes here. O atom needs two electrons. It needs two electrons. But one lithium atom removes one electron. So, it is not sufficient for the oxygen. So, it is clear that if two lithium atoms removes two electrons one by one each, so two Li plus ions are formed. Then two lithium atoms, one removes one electron, other one removes another electron. These two electrons can be taken by one oxygen atom. So, O gains these two electrons forming O2 minus. So, it is clear that for the combination of lithium and oxygen, it needs Li2 plus 2 ions, O2 minus ion, 1 ion. Because it needs 2 electrons, 2 lithium atoms remove 2 electrons. Then when they combine to give lithium oxide, then how do you decide the formula of lithium oxide? Here, how many lithium ions here? 2. Oxygen 1. Then write here 2. 1 is, we are not writing. So the lithium oxide becomes Li2O. Then you must know how to write the final equation also. Right? Then it is clear. Now, shall we go through the third period also? Right, I think. Now you are clear that. I'll show you more ionic compounds taking as the examples how they form and how the formula can be taken. Right? Then I'll go through the third period. So what are the elements? Do you remember? Sodium 11, magnesium 12, aluminium 13, silicon 14, phosphorus 15, sulfur 16, chlorine 17, argon 18. Here also I write the configuration of last energy level only. So sodium has filled 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 because it comes from neon. Neon has the 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 is the 10th element. So 11th element, sodium, has filled this configuration. Then after that it starts the third energy level. Then I write here only third energy level 3s1, magnesium 3s2, aluminium 3s2, 3p1, silicon 3s2, 3p2, phosphorus 3s2, 3p3, sulfur 3s2, 3p4, chlorine 3s2, 3p5, argon 3s2, 3p6. Again, can you see? Argon also completed octet. Octet is the stable configuration. Then see here. Here also below carbon, the element is silicon. I told you, carbon does not form positive ions or negative ions. Similarly, silicon also behaves as carbon. Then except silicon, so it is clear that now you can decide who are the persons, what are the elements which are going to form positive ions. The left side, sodium, magnesium, aluminium. It tries to gain the configuration of neon. Then sodium should be removed 3s1 electron. Then I write here Na forms Na plus E. The Na becomes, removing outermost energy level 3s1 electron, it gains neon configuration. Similarly, magnesium removes 3s2 electrons, it becomes Mg2 plus. Now it is clear that I think you removing 2 electrons. Aluminium also becomes Al3 plus, removing 3 electrons. All of them become the configuration of neon with the formation of ions, respective ions, with the removal of outermost electrons. Then, after the silicon phosphorus, so it gains the argon configuration. So 3s2 3p3 to be completed 3s2 3p6, it should be gained 3 electrons. Sulfur should be gained 2 electrons. Chlorine should be gained 1 electron. Then P plus 3 electrons, P3 minus, S plus 2 electrons, S2 minus, Cl plus 1 electron, it gains Cl minus. All of them gain the configuration of argon. Now they become stable, right? So it is clear that I think similarly as in the second group elements, they form third group elements also, they form positive ions. The right side, these are formed negative ions. Then I'll explain here how the compounds are formed. Here also same. Magnesium removes 2 electrons. These 2 electrons can be taken by 2 Cl atoms because one needs 1 electron. The removal 2 electrons to take 2 Cl atoms become 2 Cl minus ions for Mg2 plus 2 Cl minus becomes MgCl2. Similarly, here also can be formed positive ions, and positive ions they combine with negative ions to form ionic compounds. Then I want to explain a very important thing in this case, right? See here, I never talk with hydrogen. Hydrogen. So hydrogen has, see here it is very important, one electron. 1s1 configuration. If I draw the atom of hydrogen, the nucleus, the outermost energy level has one electron. Nucleus has, can you tell me? You know that all the elements when we considering, right? Their nuclei have protons and neutrons. Protons and neutrons. If I tell you all the elements are having protons and neutrons in the nuclei, it is wrong. It should be correct as except hydrogen. Except hydrogen. Then you must know that nucleus of hydrogen is only a proton. Only a proton. Only a proton, no neutrons. No neutrons. So this is a proton. Nucleus is the proton. It has only one electron. Then it can be taken the configuration of helium to be stable. It gains an electron to form H minus. Now it has two electrons, one excess, one minus. Hydride ion. Then see here, when sodium comes to form a positive ion, it removes one electron, forming Na plus ion. Then it is clear that that electron can be taken by hydrogen to form H minus. Then what will be happen finally? Thus form Na plus H minus. They should be attracted Na plus H minus NaH. Electrostatic attraction. So it is ionic compound. Right? Ions are formed ionic compounds. Then it is the one method of the hydrogen becomes stable. So now you are clear that hydrogen can form ionic compounds also, take in the helium configuration. Right? Then see here it is very important. Alright. Now it is clear that. Here I think you are clear. Then hydrogen has another method also. H has one electron with the proton and electron. Proton is the nucleus. It removes that electron. It removes that electron. So, if one electron has removed, it should be plus one ion. Okay. Then see here, this is the hydrogen atom. It removes that electron, no orbital. It remains the nucleus. What is the nucleus? Only a proton. Then H plus is a proton. In most of the cases, H plus is explained as a proton. So it is clear. Right? If this electron is taken by Cl. Then it becomes Cl minus. Then what should be happened? H plus Cl minus can be attracted, forming HCl. Hydrochloric, when it dissolves, when it is at the soluble form, hydrochloric acid, it is an ionic compound. Then do you understood that how the H plus sign is formed? Then you are clear that it has the ability to form H plus as well as H minus. So it is a wonderful ion comparatively with others. Right? Because others are having to form positive or negative. But the smallest one, hydrogen, has the ability to form positive or negative ion. Right? Now I think you are clear that how the positive ions are formed, how the negative ions are formed. After that, they form by the combination ionic compounds. Right? Now I'll later explain more about the ionic compounds. Then today I will finish my lecture. Then I hope to meet you by my third video to explain the formation of covalent compounds. Thank you very much, my dear children.